Hi, this is Sherry Methling with Ancient Healings Around the World. Today I'll be discussing clearing anxiety, a huge issue throughout the entire world. So many people are plagued with this. A lot of people will opt to go on medications. Well, I'm a holistic healer. I'm not dealing with the surface anxiety. I'm dealing with the roots of what's creating the anxiety within you. Everyone's a little bit different. They are triggered by different things. You see, it's not really the anxiety I'm dealing with. It's everything behind that anxiety. So if you think of the visualization of an iceberg, you see the top of the iceberg outside of the water and everything underneath. As I'm sure you've seen it many times before in presentations, the subconscious and the conscious. So I'm dealing with all the roots underneath that iceberg, underneath that weed, that are creating what we diagnose as anxiety. Now there are so many different formulations, there are so many different factors which are creating this anxiety. Now I'm going to take one of my clients' case study, my notes, no names of course, just to give you an example. She comes in with anxiety, severe anxiety, on medication, wants to get off medication. Many of my clients want to get off of their antidepressants and their anxiety medicine. So we don't deal with the surface, we go beneath. So what was triggering her? What's triggering you to have this anxiety? To give you a few examples. Anytime she didn't have the answer, she was triggered. Even her face would get all red, she would start sweating if she didn't have an answer. An energy of being perfect or imperfect. I release all energy around being perfect or imperfect. It's okay not to be perfect. I let that go. I delete that. I clear that. I don't resist it. Resist not being perfect. So I'm giving you examples. I release it, I let go. I delete, uncreate, destroy that energy. All the times feeling emotions, memories, recollections when I didn't feel perfect. All energies around judgment behind that, I release and let go. Transmuting it to the light. So, what else triggered her? When she wasn't in control. Not that she had to be a controlling person, per se. It's just that when she didn't know the outcome, worry and doubt, she got anxiety. She got depressed. She got anxious. She couldn't breathe. Every time I don't know the answers, I trust, I let go, I release, not knowing or knowing. It's okay not to know. It's okay not to be in control. All the times when I didn't feel I was in control, all the times where things were out of control, all times, feelings, emotions, memories, recollections, experiences, where things were not in control in my life, around me, with my surroundings, with my childhood, known or unknown, subconsciously, consciously. I delete, uncreate, destroy all time, space, dimensions, and realities. I release that out of my body, mind, and spirit. Moving forward, what else triggered her? What else triggers you? What triggers you? When do you feel that anxiety come on? Let's take stage fright or talking in front of an audience. That's usually the number one for anxiety. Now, we have to go behind that. To get in front of an audience, we fear being judged, making a mistake, looking stupid. All of those feelings, emotions, frequencies, vibrations, all of that. Times infinity, I delete, uncreate, destroy, through all time, space, dimensions, and realities. All judgments, perfect or imperfect. Think about everything underneath of being on a stage, which would create anxiety. Oh, what am I going to say? What if I forget what I'm going to say? What if I look stupid? What if I trip over my shoe? Okay? Things like that. That's what's creating it. Okay? So you go into that space, you feel it, but then you let it go. You release all judgment on yourself. I let that go. Judgment on yourself or others. Notice, anytime you judge somebody else, and a lot of times you're judging, but you don't say it out loud, and that's okay. But if you notice yourself judging somebody else, no matter what it is about, okay? Could be their hair, could be their clothes, could be their weight, or how successful or not successful they are. Whatever you notice yourself judging on another person is something inside of you that needs to be cleared or healed or released. And once it's released and neutralized, you no longer will be judging that on another person. It evaporates. You'll notice something that triggers you won't trigger your best friend or your mother, your father, and vice versa. Because it's something inside that needs to be healed, needs to be cleared, and you have to go behind what's creating that. Same thing with anxiety or depression or anybody who comes into my field for healing, whether it be over the phone, over Skype. Now, ask yourself, what triggers you? Who are you around? Okay? Maybe all of a sudden you meet a good-looking guy or a beautiful woman. And then all of a sudden you get anxiety or you start to sweat and get nervous. What if I say something wrong? What if I say the wrong thing? What if she walks away? What if I'm rejected? Rejection is a huge trigger point. You don't know that you have these fears of being rejected, but if you're getting anxiety or nervousness, or she won't like me, oh, she's too pretty, he's too good for me, oh, he's too successful for me. All of those feelings, emotions, energies, frequencies, and vibrations, all those patterns of thinking, being, emotions, thoughts, all of that, I take it up. It's almost like you're vacuuming it all up, inside of you, outside of you. I pull it all in. I delete it, I burn it up, I transmute that, dissolving all that energy off of me, through me, in me, and around me, burning up into the violet fire, deleting, just like you delete on your computer system. Delete, 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 delete. You don't want that in your book, so delete that. But the only way it's going to erase out of your vibration, your energy, is by hitting delete, and then clicking save. The old you to the new you. Dissolving, disintegrating, burning up, transmuting, anything which does not serve you. Not dealing with the anxiety. What's triggering me? When do I get triggered? Not being in control, not feeling perfect. What are they going to say? What are they going to think? What else in this case? Okay, anytime something happened within her body, automatically, anxiety, nervous, anxious, scared, terrified, worried, doubt, then they start spiraling out of control in their energy. And they keep on getting farther and farther and farther away from their authentic self, body, light, truth. Because why? They're in separation from love and truth and light. They're now in the vibration of fear. In the vibration of fear comes anxiety, worry, depression, anger, hatred, judgment. 2 worlds. Your choice. We got to get you out of this world and get you over here because it feels so much better over here. And everybody wants to be over here. Not because everybody wants to be there, but it feels good. It's light. It's happy. Things are flowing. So we got to let go of the old anchors, the old heaviness. So anytime this person's body was out of alignment or there was a problem, she started spiraling out of control. Why? Her father also had physical issues, whether they be mental or physical. It's irrelevant. Anytime something happened with her, automatically the cellular memory went right into her family DNA. Oh, this is going to happen to me. Nope, stop that program. All attachments, all programs, all energies that are attaching to my family DNA and ancestors, or that there's going to be something wrong with me, or that I'm sick, that I'm ill, that I'm going to get worse, that I'm not going to get better, and I'm going to get the same illness that my mother or father had. If they had it, I had it. Oh, it runs in the family. All of that energy, feelings, emotions, thoughts, frequencies, vibrations, patterns, all of that, I delete, uncreate, destroy through all time, space, dimensions, and realities. I transmute into the light. Dissolving, disintegrating, delete, 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 delete. Through all ancestors, all DNA, all lifetimes, where this keeps on coming, repeating in a pattern. Whether it be your health, your money, your success, your fortune, your misfortune. You only want to attach to what you want to be written in your book, not the things that you don't want to be written in your book. I don't care if it came through the DNA for the past 10,000 years. You don't even know that. I know you only go back a couple generations, of course, that you might know, okay, about the health. But we got to stop the things that you don't want to continue in your vibration, in your life, in your chapters, in your journey. Okay? So anything you don't want, don't resist it. Acknowledge it. view it, see it, feel it, and I release it. I transmute it. However you want to delete that, and then click Save. The new button, the new you, the new energy, the new light. See the new you. Visualize yourself over here in a calm space when you're going to that job interview. So let's go with the job interview. Sometimes people get nervous. With myself in the past, when I was in the corporate world, I really never got nervous. Why? Because I didn't care. If they wanted me, they wanted me. If they didn't, they didn't. That's just how it is. It's the truth. Okay? I didn't care if they didn't want me. I was okay. You need to be neutral. Okay? Because whatever door is going to open is going to go open. And it's usually not so much about your criteria and your experience. 9 times out of 10, I know, because I would hire a lot of people at different companies. And I would also let them go. It's more of the connection. The connection. As opposed to what's written on paper. You sell yourself through your character, through your personality, through your energy. Understood? So go into the interview neutral. It's okay. If they like me, they like me. If they don't, they don't. I always say the right thing. Fear of saying the wrong thing. Fear of not knowing what to say. Not having an answer. All of that, I delete and create, destroy through all time, space, dimensions, and realities, or just click the delete button. Whatever is showing up in your vibration around that interview, around standing up in front of thousands of people, stage fright, around approaching that beautiful girl at the bar, or wherever it is, at a party. Oh my God, she won't like me. What if I say the wrong thing? Whatever it is, I let that go and I transmute it. And go to the opposite. Always ask yourself, what's behind that anxiety? Who stepped into my energy? Sometimes, for instance, all of a sudden somebody will step into my energy at a party, and because they have anxiety, or they're nervous around me, then all of a sudden I have it. I'm an empath. It soaks right into me. I feel it. Now, how to stop yourself from absorbing other people's energy like that, all right? You want to ground yourself really, really good into the earth, just like you're a tree. So before you go to a party, or anywhere for that matter, you want to ground yourself. The more grounded you are, the less likely you're going to be picking up other people's energy. So, especially as an empath and a very sensitive person, you absorb things. And sometimes it's not even your anxiety. You're picking up from somebody else. So make sure you're very, very grounded, centered, and connected into Mother Earth each and every day. And a lot of times I'll put a nice blue bubble around myself before I go into the energy of certain people, especially people who are very in the heavier, in the negative, because I don't want that absorbing into me, because that's just going to bring me down. So that would be a transfer center energy. So, big blue bubble, just protecting your energy field, grounding yourself into Mother Earth. Less likely to absorb other people's energy and pick up their anxieties, their nervousness, things like that. Now, also, we don't always have to just worry about the physical people that we see with our eyes, but also there are entities that are walking too on this earth because they haven't transitioned. So, a lot of times, all of a sudden, boom, you feel anxiety, you feel nervous, or you get this weird sensation in your physical body. All of a sudden, now you have a shoulder pain, and there's no rhyme or reason. Now, it could have been somebody that walked past you, but if nobody's physically there, you have to ask yourself, is this mine or somebody else's? Are they living in the physical, or are they in the spiritual plane, in the non-physical plane? And then I release that energy. I cut cords with that entity, releasing, letting go. I feel that in my left shoulder, cutting cords, releasing, letting go, delete that, uncreate, destroy, through all time, space, dimensions, and realities. Grounding, centering, balancing, connecting. Alright? So there's a lot of different tangents, just like with everything. Okay? Is it yours? Is it somebody else's? Is it in the physical plane? Is it in the spiritual plane? Is it my own fears that are creating this anxiety? My own worries, my own doubts? My own out of alignment? What else? So, the person wasn't in control. When they were in control, they would have anxiety. I let go of being in control. Fear of not being in control. Unsafe in not being in control. I release all that. Deleting, saving the new energy. So, I'm just using these examples. Getting sick, dying. Anytime you're triggered, just go behind it. What's triggering me? I'm trying to think. A family member of mine had anxiety. And triggered in unfamiliar situations. Very common. Places, not being in control. Again, a lot of it has to do with being in control. When they're not in control of the situation, of people, of the decisions, it makes them anxious. They're afraid of what's going to happen, what could happen, what won't happen. Sometimes they're motivated by power and things like that. So, in any event, you just have to ask yourself, what's behind the anxiety? What's giving it to me? The pill isn't going to stop that. It will make you feel better, yes. Of course. That's why tons of people around the world, millions and millions and millions of people take anxiety medication. But you take medication, you're going to have other things malfunctioning, not only in your physical body, because one thing is going to trigger another, and the side effects are just ongoing. Now you have to go into what's triggering you. You have to go into the roots. And you have to keep on uprooting it. And then another thing surfaces. Now you have anxiety. Okay, well, what created that? I stepped into the elevator. Feel claustrophobic. I could fall. I could die. All of those fears of dying, not being in control. We don't live forever. Okay? Not being in control of the elevator, the airplane. Maybe they have a fear of flying. They get anxiety around flying. All lifetimes, when I died in an airplane crash, all fears of not being in control of what happens on this aircraft, of something malfunctioning. All times, feelings, emotions, memories, recollections, when something malfunctioned and it crashed and I died. All those lifetimes, feelings, emotions, experiences, all of that. I let go, delete, uncreate, destroy through all time, space, dimensions, and realities. My fear was swimming in the ocean with sharks. I could be in the ocean, no sharks are around, but I had this anxiety. Or it wasn't really anxiety, I just had a fear. Okay? Could be a fear, could be an anxiety, whatever it is. All lifetimes, when I was eaten by a shark, or I was attacked by a shark. Because in this life, I never was attacked by a shark, but I know it was coming in from a past life. My mother also mentioned to me how when she was pregnant with me, that she started having shark dreams. Why? I was in her space, I was in her energy, I was in her womb, and I was in water. And it was creating a past recollection. So all that energy of it happening again, resurfacing again, whether it be an airplane, an elevator, a shark, a spider, a snake, all of those energy, lifetimes and memories, recollections, with that animal, that place, that space. I let it go, I transmute it. Feel it, own it, let it go. Comes up again, feel it, own it, go deeper. What else is triggering me here? Is it somebody else's? What else? Keep going until it's neutral, meaning you're no longer triggered. You're no longer having that anxiety. You're no longer having that worry, that doubt, that concern. All of that, times infinity, I delete, uncreate, destroy, through all time, space, dimensions, and realities. Chipping away at that iceberg. Dissolving, melting, 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 burning, transmuting, deleting, uncreating. Rewriting your book, rewriting your story. Oh, it runs in our family. Delete that. People keep on attaching themselves to that energy. Delete, uncreate that. Burn that up, transmute that, unplug, cut cords. Cutting all cords, etheric cords. Connecting into my family and their anxieties and their problems and their worries. You don't want to attach yourself to that. They could unattach too. They need to be taught. Can I heal myself? Yes. Can you do a surgery? Yes, if you're taught, if you're trained. That's why I'm doing these videos, to help people. Why I help people? Because it raises the vibration of this planet and increases the light. That is my mission, that is my purpose. Help the people, help the world, transmute the people, okay? Getting from darker to lighter and brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter. And this world becomes, technically, a better place. In alignment with yourself. All those fears, worries, doubts, concerns, judgments. Go into judgments. Where you're judging others, go inside yourself. Go behind that. Clear that, let it go. All the energies where I don't feel I'm thin enough. Okay? Some people, I remember one person said, oh, it bothers me when I see people eating junk food and they're overweight. Okay, well, because they internally weren't 100% happy with where they were at, maybe with their diet or their body. So it annoyed them, it triggered them. Or maybe they were there before in that space, so it triggered them. But they have to let it go. Release all judgment on that. Experience, feeling, emotion, thought, judgment. What is perfect, what is imperfect. All of that. So go behind the anxiety. Go into the roots. Your roots. Everybody's triggered by different things. You have to ask yourself, what are you triggered by? And you'll know that when either you're judging, or you're getting anxious, or you're getting worried, or you're going into fear. Step back into your truth. Step back into your light. Let the old energy go. Just because it ran in your family doesn't mean it's going to be running through you unless you keep attaching and plugging in there. Like you plug in your cell phone. Like you plug in things to the wall. Then you're going to be generating that energy right into you. But you don't want that, so unplug, disconnect, and delete. And that's clearing energy with anxiety with Sherry Methling of Ancient Healings Around the World. Peace.